That feeling of betrayal. You walk into your local supermarket, grab a few basics, and the total is staggering. You have been overcharged for years to pay for massive marketing budgets and unnecessary store features. But a silent revolution is taking over America. Aldi, a ruthless German discounter, is absolutely destroying traditional grocery monopolies, and they are doing it by breaking every rule in the retail playbook. From secret psychological layouts to controversial staffing metrics, we are exposing exactly how they are winning. Keep watching, because reason number 1 will permanently change how you buy food. Number 10. The illusion of choice. Curing decision fatigue. Walk into a standard, traditional American supermarket, and you are immediately bombarded by an overwhelming sensory assault. A typical mega grocery store carries anywhere from 40,000 to 100,000 unique items. If you want to buy a simple bottle of ketchup, you are forced to stare down an entire aisle displaying 30 different varieties, sizes, and brands. You have organic ketchup, sugar-free ketchup, store-brand ketchup, premium glass bottle ketchup, and squeeze bottle ketchup. Traditional supermarkets want you to believe that this endless sea of options is a luxury. They want you to think that having 40,000 choices is the ultimate consumer freedom. But Aldi knows the dark psychological truth behind the traditional retail layout. That endless choice is not a luxury. It is a calculated weapon designed to induce a phenomenon known as decision fatigue. When your brain is forced to make hundreds of micro-decisions, comparing unit prices, reading labels, and choosing between 20 brands of peanut butter, your willpower rapidly drains. By the time you reach the checkout counter, your exhausted brain is highly susceptible to high-margin impulse buys like candy, magazines, and overpriced beverages. Aldi destroys this model by offering a radically curated selection of just roughly 1,400 items. When you walk into an Aldi looking for ketchup, you will find exactly one option. It is high quality, it is cheap, and it is right there. This minimalist approach cures decision fatigue instantly. You do not have to stand in the aisle doing mental math. You grab the item and you keep moving. This extreme limitation of choices also gives Aldi terrifying leverage over their suppliers. Because they only carry one type of ketchup, that single supplier is guaranteed an astronomical volume of sales across thousands of stores. In exchange for this guaranteed volume, Aldi demands absolute rock-bottom wholesale prices. They pass those massive savings directly to you. But Aldi's curated selection isn't just about saving your brainpower. As you are about to see in reason number 9, it is the foundation of a secretive manufacturing monopoly that is terrifying the biggest food brands in America. Number 9. The private label monopoly, cutting out the middleman. For generations, the American grocery industry was entirely controlled by massive national conglomerates. Companies like Kraft, Kellogg's, and General Mills dictated the rules of the supermarket. They charged traditional grocery stores exorbitant slotting fees, literal bribes paid to the supermarket just to have their boxes placed at eye level on the shelves. Furthermore, these national brands spend billions of dollars every single year on aggressive marketing campaigns. We are talking about multi-million-dollar Super Bowl commercials, expensive celebrity endorsements, massive billboard campaigns, and endless digital advertisements. Every single time you buy a box of name-brand cereal at a traditional grocery store, you are paying a hidden brand tax. You are directly funding their marketing department. Aldi looked at this bloated, expensive system and completely bypassed it. Over 90% of the products on Aldi's shelves are their own exclusive private labels. Brands like Millville, Love and Fresh, and Clancy's are nowhere to be found outside of an Aldi store. But here is the massive industry secret that traditional supermarkets are terrified you will discover. Aldi does not own a single food manufacturing factory. They go directly to the exact same massive manufacturing plants that produce the expensive national brands. They sign strict, ironclad non-disclosure agreements, buy the exact same high-quality ingredients, and simply slap their own private label on the packaging. Because Aldi does not spend billions on television commercials, and because they do not charge themselves slotting fees for shelf space, they can sell the identical product for up to 50% less than the national brand equivalent. Traditional stores simply cannot compete with this pricing model because they are completely beholden to the corporate giants that fill their aisles. But stripping away name brands is only half the battle. Wait until you see how they force you, the actual customer, to do their manual labor for them in reason number 8. Number 8. The quarter cart genius, outsourcing labor to the customer. It is the most famous and initially the most confusing aspect of shopping at Aldi. You walk up to the storefront, and all the shopping carts are locked together with heavy metal chains. To release a cart, you must insert a physical 25-cent quarter into a slot on the handle. When you are finished shopping, you must physically walk the cart back to the front of the store, lock it back into the chain, and retrieve your quarter. To an American consumer conditioned to maximum convenience, this seems like an incredibly cheap and annoying hassle, but it is actually a stroke of absolute operational genius that saves the company hundreds of millions of dollars. Think about the parking lot of a massive traditional supermarket like Walmart or Kroger. It is a chaotic wasteland of abandoned shopping carts. Carts are left in parking spaces, pushed into bushes, and left rolling into the sides of expensive vehicles. To combat this chaos, traditional supermarkets are forced to hire dedicated employees whose sole job is to roam the scorching hot or freezing cold asphalt all day long, retrieving stray carts. They pay thousands of dollars in hourly wages, workers' compensation for physical injuries, and liability insurance for cars damaged by runaway carts. Aldi eliminates this entire financial black hole with a single coin. By requiring a quarter deposit, Aldi effectively outsources the labor of cart retrieval directly to the customer. Behavioral economics proves that the psychological pain of losing a physical coin is far stronger than the minor inconvenience of walking 50 feet to return the cart. Because customers police themselves, Aldi does not need to put cart retrievers on the payroll. They do not have to pay out massive insurance claims for dented car doors. They do not have to constantly buy replacement carts because theirs are never stolen or abandoned in a ditch. The savings are massive, and those savings are ruthlessly applied to lowering the price of your groceries. If you are shocked by how much money traditional stores waste on something as simple as shopping carts, hit that like button right now. And keep your finger ready because the bizarre way they stock their shelves in reason number 7 is going to make traditional grocery clerks look completely obsolete. Number 7. The display box rebellion, the end of shelf facing. If you want to understand why traditional grocery stores are losing the war, you have to look at how they stock their shelves. In a standard supermarket, night shift employees spend countless hours engaging in a practice known as facing or fronting. They take a massive cardboard box from the warehouse, cut it open, and pull out individual cans of soup one by one. They meticulously line up each can on the metal shelf, ensuring that every single label is perfectly rotated to face the customer. It is a slow, agonizing, labor-intensive process that prioritizes visual aesthetics over operational efficiency. Aldi considers this practice to be a catastrophic waste of time and money. When you walk down an Aldi aisle, the shelves look drastically different. The store looks somewhat industrial, almost unfinished. That is because Aldi completely eliminated the practice of individual shelf facing. Instead, Aldi forces its suppliers to ship their products in custom-designed, structurally reinforced display boxes. These cardboard cases feature distinct perforations along the front and top. When an Aldi employee needs to restock an aisle, they do not unload individual cans. They simply grab the entire case, rip off the perforated cardboard front in one violent motion, and slide the entire box directly onto the shelf. A traditional grocery store employee might spend 3 hours perfectly facing an aisle of canned goods. An Aldi employee can restock that exact same aisle in 20 minutes by merely sliding custom display boxes into place. This display box rebellion strips millions of wasted labor hours out of the company's operating budget. It also significantly reduces product damage because the items are handled far fewer times before they reach the consumer's hands. Traditional supermarkets are spending a fortune to make their shelves look like an art museum, while Aldi is prioritizing raw, brutal efficiency to crush their competitors on price. But these cardboard display boxes are just a symptom of a much larger, highly controversial staffing secret that we will uncover in reason number 6. Number 6. The skeleton crew blueprint. Maximum output, minimum headcount. The sheer volume of human capital required to keep a traditional supermarket running is staggering. A massive legacy grocery store requires dozens of specialized employees on the clock at any given moment. You have the dedicated bakery staff waking up at 3 in the morning to knead dough. You have the specialized union butchers cutting meat behind a glass counter. You have the floral department arranging bouquets, the deli counter staff slicing ham to order, and the customer service desk associates standing around waiting to process refunds. All of these specialized departments are massive financial liabilities. They are notorious loss leaders, departments that frequently operate at a net financial loss just to lure you into the store. Aldi looked at this bloated labor structure and took a massive corporate axe to it. Aldi operates on a skeleton crew blueprint. A standard Aldi location is run by just 3 to 5 employees at a time. There are no specialized departments. There is no in-house bakery, no custom butcher counter, and no deli slicer. Everything arrives at the store pre-packaged and ready to sell. Furthermore, Aldi enforces a mandatory cross-training policy that is unrivaled in the retail industry. There is no such thing as just being a cashier or just being a stock boy. Every single employee on the floor is trained to do every single job. If the checkout line gets too long, the person unloading a pallet of milk in the back room will sprint to the front and open a register. When the line dies down, that same person immediately locks their register and goes right back to stocking shelves. To maintain this relentless, exhausting pace, Aldi actually pays significantly higher starting wages than their traditional competitors, and they offer robust benefits. But in return for that higher wage, they extract 3 times the productivity out of every single worker. They run their stores like a high-performance athletic team, leaving the bloated, slow-moving traditional supermarkets choking on their own massive payroll expenses. Yet, despite this extreme operational discipline, they deliberately introduce a massive dose of chaos right in the middle of the store. A psychological trap we will expose in reason number 5. Number 5. The Aisle of Shame. Psychological trap. Scarcity marketing. While Aldi is famous for its strict curation and limited inventory, there is one glaring, chaotic exception that sits right in the middle of every single store. It is the Aldi Finds aisle, affectionately dubbed the Aisle of Shame by their rabid online fan base. If you have never experienced it, the Aisle of Shame is a rotating wonderland of completely random, non-grocery merchandise. You will find chainsaws sitting next to imported German chocolates. You will see memory foam mattresses stacked next to heavily discounted yoga mats, patio heaters, and decorative garden gnomes. It makes absolutely zero logical sense for a grocery store to sell these items. But psychologically, it is the most brilliant marketing trap in modern retail. Aldi utilizes a psychological warfare tactic known as manufactured scarcity. Every single Wednesday, a new shipment of Aldi Finds hits the floor, and the golden rule of the Aisle of Shame is simple. Once an item sells out, it is gone forever. There is no backstock, there are no rain checks, and it will not be replenished next week. This creates an intense feeling of FOMO, the fear of missing out. When a shopper sees a high-quality cast iron skillet for $15, their brain immediately panics. They know that if they do not put it in their cart right this exact second, they will never see it again. It completely overrides rational budgeting. Traditional grocery stores desperately rely on weekly newspaper circulars to drive foot traffic. Aldi just relies on the dopamine hit of the treasure hunt. Shoppers will literally walk into the store intending to buy a $2 gallon of milk, get sucked into the Aisle of Shame, and walk out with a $70 inflatable kayak. It is a high-margin goldmine disguised as a quirky mid-store garage sale. Have you ever fallen victim to the Aldi Finds aisle? Let us know in the comments exactly what random item you bought. But do not let those fun impulse buys distract you, because the moment you step into the checkout line in reason number 4, the relaxed treasure hunt turns into a high-speed industrial sprint. Number 4. The lightning checkout system. Sitting cashiers and scan rates. The checkout experience at a traditional American supermarket is painfully slow. You stand in line, watching the cashier manually hunt for the tiny barcode on a bag of frozen peas. Then, they scan the item, carefully open a plastic bag, and meticulously pack your groceries to ensure the eggs are not crushed by the canned goods. It is a polite, leisurely process that absolutely destroys operational efficiency. Aldi views the checkout lane as an industrial assembly line, and they have engineered every single microsecond to maximize speed. First, you will notice that Aldi cashiers are sitting in highly ergonomic chairs. In American retail culture, managers believe that standing up looks more professional. Aldi operates on German efficiency standards, which recognize that sitting down reduces physical fatigue, prevents long-term back injuries, and allows the cashier to maintain lightning-fast hand speed for their entire 8-hour shift. Second, Aldi completely redesigned the concept of the barcode. On a traditional product, the barcode is a tiny square hidden on the bottom corner. Aldi prints massive elongated barcodes on 3, 4, or sometimes all sides of their private label packaging. The cashier never has to spin the box around to find the scanner code, they just drag it across the glass and drop it. Because of these ergonomic and packaging advantages, Aldi aggressively tracks the scan rate of every single cashier. An Aldi cashier is expected to scan upwards of 1,000 to 1,200 items per hour. If they drop below this blistering pace, they are flagged by the system and reprimanded. Finally, they completely eliminate the bottleneck of bagging. The cashier simply throws your scanned items directly into a waiting cart. You're then expected to pay immediately, take your cart, and move to an elongated wooden counter against the wall to bag your own groceries at your own pace. This brutal separation of scanning and bagging allows the line to move at a terrifying speed, meaning Aldi can clear out a massive rush of customers while only keeping 2 registers open. And as you will see in reason number 3, keeping things incredibly small and impossibly fast is not just for the checkout lane. It is the exact strategy they are using to secretly invade your neighborhood. Number 3. The micro-footprint real estate war, infiltrating neighborhoods. Traditional grocery giants like Kroger, Safeway, and Publix are trapped in a real estate nightmare. Their business model requires massive, sprawling supercenters that span anywhere from 50,000 to 100,000 square feet. To build a store that large, they need massive plots of land, colossal parking lots, and favorable zoning laws. Because of this, they are forced to build on the distant outskirts of town or anchor massive suburban strip malls. Aldi flips the real estate script by deploying a micro-footprint strategy. An average Aldi store takes up a mere 12,000 to 15,000 square feet. This tiny footprint gives them an incredible, asymmetric advantage in the real estate market. Because their stores are so small, they can infiltrate incredibly dense urban neighborhoods where land is scarce and expensive. They can slide into small, abandoned retail spaces in rural towns that larger supermarkets ignore. They pay a fraction of the commercial rent, a fraction of the local property taxes, and their utility bills, specifically the electricity required to keep a grocery store constantly refrigerated, are drastically lower than the megastores. This real estate agility is fueling a historic corporate expansion. As of the year 2026, Aldi is aggressively executing a massive $9 billion growth plan. They are slated to open over 800 new stores across the United States by the end of 2028. They are systematically buying out failing regional competitors, including the massive acquisition of Southeastern Grocers, allowing them to rapidly convert hundreds of Winn-Dixie locations into shiny new Aldi microstores. They are quietly surrounding the lumbering giants of traditional grocery, strangling them out of neighborhood after neighborhood. But getting you in the door is just the first step. Once you are inside, as we will reveal in reason number 2, they actively refuse to play the one marketing game that every other supermarket relies on to survive. Number 2, the anti-coupon philosophy, exposing the marketing markup. If you shop at a traditional supermarket, you are undoubtedly trapped in the exhausting game of digital loyalty programs, reward points, and manufacturer coupons. Supermarkets train their customers to spend hours clipping digital coupons on proprietary apps just to get a box of pasta for a reasonable price. But this entire system is a massive, carefully constructed illusion. In order to offer a buy one, get one free deal or a steep loyalty card discount, traditional grocery stores must artificially inflate the everyday base price of the item. They raise the price of a box of cereal to $6 just so they can give you a coupon for $2 off, making you feel like a savvy shopper. Furthermore, processing these coupons is incredibly expensive. Supermarkets must maintain massive corporate IT departments, run complex checkout software to verify digital points, and physically mail paper coupons back to the manufacturers to claim their reimbursements. This overhead cost is staggering, but the deception goes much deeper than just operational overhead. Those colorful plastic loyalty cards are not actually designed to save you money. They are sophisticated surveillance tools designed to harvest your personal data. When you scan that barcode at a traditional grocery checkout, the corporation is tracking every single item you buy, calculating how often you shop, and analyzing exactly what brands you prefer. They package this massive digital psychological profile and sell it to third-party data brokers and advertising agencies for billions of dollars. You are literally paying inflated prices for the privilege of being spied on. Aldi's philosophy is brutally simple. They reject the entire charade. Aldi does not accept any manufacturer coupons whatsoever. They do not have a loyalty card, they do not have a points program, and they do not force you to download an app to get the real price. Because they do not track your purchases, you shop in absolute anonymity. Your purchase history belongs to you, not a corporate algorithm. By refusing to play the high-low pricing game, Aldi eliminates all the corporate overhead associated with processing discounts. They take those operational savings and permanently lower the baseline price of every item in the store. Think about the psychological freedom this creates. You do not have to plan your grocery trips around Wednesday, circulars, or weekend flash sales. Whether you walk into an Aldi on a Tuesday morning or a Sunday afternoon, the price of your groceries is the exact same. They have trained their aggressively loyal customer base to trust the price on the shelf. Shoppers know they do not have to jump through digital hoops or carry a plastic tag on their keychain just to avoid being ripped off. This transparency is fundamentally destroying the trust that legacy supermarkets have relied on for decades. But everything we have covered so far, the carts, the shelves, the checkout speed, and the privacy, all bows down to the ultimate ruthless corporate strategy waiting for you in reason number 1. Number 1. The ruthless supply chain dictatorship, owning the logistics. At the very top of the operational pyramid, Aldi's ultimate weapon against traditional grocery stores is their supply chain dictatorship. Because they only carry 1,400 meticulously curated items, their logistics network operates with a level of extreme, military precision that legacy supermarkets can only dream of. Aldi dictates the rules of logistics to their suppliers with an iron fist. They do not just tell a manufacturer what ingredients to put in the food, they dictate the exact geometric dimensions of the cardboard boxes the food is shipped in. Why? Because Aldi mathematically ensures that every single box fits perfectly onto a standard wooden pallet with zero wasted negative space. This obsession with geometric perfection extends far beyond the cardboard box. It dictates the exact architectural design of their distribution warehouses. Aldi uses a highly aggressive cross-docking system. When a pallet of perfectly measured canned goods arrives from a supplier, it does not sit in a massive warehouse gathering dust for months. It is instantly moved across the loading dock and placed directly onto an outbound truck headed for a local store. This means their inventory turnover rate is astronomically higher than traditional supermarkets. Your food spends less time sitting in the dark and more time on the shelf, drastically reducing the millions of dollars traditional stores lose to spoilage and expiration. When a massive Aldi transport truck leaves one of their regional distribution centers, it is packed to the absolute maximum cubic inch. There is no empty air in the trailer. This extreme spatial efficiency means Aldi uses significantly fewer transport trucks to move the exact same volume of food as their competitors, saving hundreds of millions of dollars in diesel fuel, driver wages, and vehicle maintenance. Moreover, because Aldi is not emotionally attached to specific national brands, they negotiate with a level of ruthlessness that terrifies the food industry. To even get a product on an Aldi shelf, a supplier has to survive a grueling gauntlet. Aldi conducts relentless blind taste tests at their corporate test kitchens. Their private label product must not just match, but actively beat the leading national brand in flavor, texture, and quality. If a supplier's product fails the blind taste test, they do not get the contract, period. And once a supplier secures that contract, Aldi practically owns their operational soul. Because Aldi represents such a massive percentage of that factory's total revenue, the supplier is forced to continuously innovate and drive down their own manufacturing costs just to keep Aldi happy. If a traditional grocery store tries to play hardball with a massive brand like Coca-Cola, the brand will simply threaten to pull their product off the shelves, which would cause a consumer riot. But because Aldi relies entirely on its own private labels, if a supplier tries to raise their wholesale price by even a fraction of a cent, Aldi will terminate the contract overnight and hand the massive production volume to a desperate competitor. It is a lean, unsentimental corporate machine. They have engineered a retail environment where efficiency is the only religion, and legacy supermarkets are bleeding out because they simply cannot adapt fast enough. They control every single variable from the factory floor to the display shelf, cutting out the middlemen, eliminating the wasted labor, and stripping the grocery experience down to its most pure, cost-effective form. And that is exactly why the traditional bloated grocery store model is currently fighting for its very survival. Hey, thanks for watching. If you found these corporate secrets helpful, let us know down below. Want to see exactly which traditional supermarkets are tricking you with fake health labels? Click on the video on the left, and if you do not want to miss more grocery secrets, hit that subscribe button.